ఒకప్పుడు ఇంట్లో సైకిల్ ఉందంటే ఇటు ఆర్థికంగా ఎంత తోడ్పడేదో అటు మనిషి ఆరోగ్యాన్ని దృఢంగా ఉంచేది. తర్వాత మెల్లిగా మోటార్ సైకిళ్లు, కార్లు ప్రవేశించాయి. ఇవి మనిషి ఆరోగ్యంతో పాటు పర్యావరణాన్ని నాశనం చేస్తున్నాయి. అయితే ఇప్పటికిప్పుడు వాడుతున్న బండ్లను మానేసే పరిస్థితి ఎవరికీ లేదు. అందువల్ల చిన్న చిన్న అవసరాలకు దగ్గర్లోని దుకాణాలు, మార్కెట్లకైనా సైకిల్పై వెళ్లడం ప్రారంభించాలని కోరుతున్నారు బైస్కిల్ మేయర్ ఆఫ్ హైదరాబాద్ శాంతన సెల్వన్. ఆయనకు మొదటి నుంచి సైకిల్ అంటే భలే ఇష్టం. అందువల్లే కార్పొరేట్ కంపెనీలో ఉద్యోగం చేస్తూనే స్వచ్ఛందంగా ప్రజల్లో సైక్లింగ్, దానివల్ల కలిగే లాభాలపై అవగాహన కార్యక్రమాలు నిర్వహిస్తున్నారు. తన సన్నిహితులతో కలిసి పలు ముఖ్యమైన కార్యక్రమాలను పెద్ద ఎత్తున చేస్తున్నారు. సైకిల్ తొక్కడాన్ని ప్రజలంతా తిరిగి తమ జీవన శైలిలో భాగం చేసుకోవాలని కోరుతున్నారు. అలా శాంతన సెల్వన్ చేస్తున్న కార్యక్రమాలపై స్పెషల్ స్టోరీ.
Hi, my name is Santhana Selvan. I'm born and brought up in Tamil Nadu. In 2014, I actually was thinking about what is that I should do in my free time, and also nearby for groceries and all. I thought, it's better to use bicycle. So I bought a very normal bicycle in 2014 in Chennai. Then I was using for local transportation like groceries and getting milk and stuff like that. Then I slowly joined a group called WCCG in Chennai, and it's a major group in South India as such. So I joined there, and then I was very much regular there. I started organizing. I found something very interesting with cycling is that it was it became as a passion to me, where I met a lot of new people. I found out something about happiness through cycling. In the sense, I was able to go see the sunrise in the morning, go to new places, talk to new variety of people, and also it actually improved my health. So that is where it actually started. Journey of cycling started. Though I'm actually an IT professional as a background, I have been working in IT companies more than 20 years as on date. And then what happened? I was fully inside the cycling community of Chennai, and I had a job change, and I moved to Hyderabad. So what I saw in Hyderabad was a little surprising to me, where I thought there is a huge change needed in Hyderabad when I compared to other cities. So that is where I thought, my contribution will help here. So that is when we formed a group.
శాంతన సెల్వన్ చెన్నైలో ఉన్నప్పుడు కూడా సైక్లింగ్ పై ఎన్నో అవగాహన కార్యక్రమాల్లో చురుగ్గా పాల్గొనేవారు. అక్కడ సైక్లింగ్ కి సంబంధించిన ఎన్నో సంస్థలతో కలిసి పనిచేశారు. తర్వాత హైదరాబాద్కి వచ్చాక కూడా అదే పంథాను కొనసాగించారు. అందువల్లే ఆయన బైస్కిల్ మేయర్ ఆఫ్ హైదరాబాద్ గా గుర్తింపు పొందారు. అప్పటి నుంచి ఆయన తన పనులను మరింత విస్తృతం చేశారు. హ్యాపీ హైదరాబాద్, దియా, రీసెట్ హైదరాబాద్ విత్ సైక్లింగ్ మొదలైన కార్యక్రమాలను ప్రారంభించి సైకిల్పై ఆసక్తి ఉన్నవాళ్లను ఒకే వేదికపైకి తీసుకొచ్చారు సెల్వన్. అందులోని దియా ప్రాజెక్ట్ చాలా ప్రత్యేకమైనది. ఇందులో భాగంగా సెల్వన్ టీం కొంతమంది వాలంటీర్లతో కలిసి అపార్ట్మెంట్లలో మూలన పడేసిన పాత సైకిళ్లను సేకరించడం ప్రారంభించింది. వాటిని చిన్న చిన్న సైకిల్ దుకాణాల్లో రిపేర్ చేయించారు సెల్వన్. అలా ఉపయోగించడానికి తయారైన సైకిళ్లను రోజువారీ కూలీలు, రోడ్లపై తినుబండారాలు, చిన్న చిన్న వస్తువులు అమ్మేవాళ్లకు అందజేశారు. ఈ ప్రాజెక్టుకి మంచి రెస్పాన్స్ వచ్చిందని సంతోషంగా చెప్తారు సెల్వన్. దియాతో పాటు హ్యాపీ హైదరాబాద్ ప్రాజెక్టు మొదలైన పనుల గురించి ఆయన మాటల్లోనే తెలుసుకుందాం.
We saw affordability as one of the key elements. So affordability, like a lot of people, lot of school children, lot of poor children, and also the housemaids, the watchman, security, lot of people, if they have cycle, their life will change. Their productivity will improve, and they will get empowered. So that is when we thought, affordability is a problem to be solved. So first, this is something government has to solve, where government actually can give subsidized cycle or give free cycles to the girl children in the villages, and also in the outskirts and suburbs of Hyderabad, and also in rural parts inside Hyderabad. Many places they can actually give free cycles, right? So that will actually change their life. So that is when we thought, as a community, what we can do. So that is when we thought about Project Diya. So what Project Diya means, in Diya word itself is actually about light, lighting somebody's life with cycle. So that is the concept about Diya. What is the project? The process is that First of all, we'll actually collect the old unused bicycles from the apartment communities where they have bought it but they are not using it and it's getting rusted. Instead of giving that cycle to some scrap thing, we wanted to take that, refurbish these cycles and then give it to the needy. So that is when the real result happened. Give a cycle to a girl child or a woman who is working as a maid in a house. She can actually, productivity increases, she can actually go to more houses. Secondly, she gets empowered and more economy is there, more money she can actually generate and she gets more empowered, and also she gets the liberty, the freedom she gets to go to different places. She doesn't have to depend on anybody and more freedom is there. So that's the success of Project Diya. We have been doing the Project Diya for some time and we have given about 50 cycles to the needy and we are continuing to do more. So in Hyderabad we started a group called Happy Hyderabad. It's mainly a cycling group, that's where it started, and then it was mainly for creating happiness in Hyderabad with various activities including majority part cycling. So that is when we thought, we will create engagement of people for happiness. So our core concept about happiness is that through cycling and many other sports activities, we should be able to engage people and generate happiness. That was the original idea. With that, we were able to create a large group called Happy Hyderabad with my colleagues, starting with Dinesh and Ravi Sambari and Anjani. We were able to grow the Happy Hyderabad community heavily. So Happy Hyderabad is one part of the cycling community of Hyderabad. That's when I actually appointed as bicycle mayor of Hyderabad. So that is when the real kickstart happened in terms of the cycling revolution. As soon as I was appointed as the bicycle mayor of Hyderabad, it's actually a cool title, but it actually comes with a lot of responsibilities. So that is when we sat together as the core team. We actually took up an idea from Bangalore for relief riders. Relief riders is nothing but delivering the medicines and food and essentials to the vulnerable, and also to the COVID patients. This is during the COVID time frame. So that is when from April 2021 we had a huge, about 6 months or so, we delivered this service and it was recognized even by UN in terms of award to the relief riders overall in India. So we ran this in 12 cities, but we actually, as a second city in India, we ran Relief Riders Hyderabad.
శాంతన సెల్వన్ కోరికంతా హైదరాబాద్ ప్రజలు సంతోషంగా సైకిల్ తొక్కడం మళ్లీ అలవాటు చేసుకోవాలని, వాతావరణాన్ని కాపాడుతూ ఆరోగ్యంగా ఉండాలని. దానికోసమే హైదరాబాద్ రోడ్లపై సైక్లింగ్ ట్రాక్స్ ప్రత్యేకంగా ఏర్పాటు చేయాలని ప్రభుత్వాన్ని కోరారు. ఇప్పటికే కొన్ని చోట్ల ఆ పనులు పూర్తయ్యాయి కూడా. అలాగే సెల్వన్ అభ్యర్థన మేరకు హైదరాబాద్ మెట్రో అధికారులు నాన్ పీక్ అవర్స్ లో మెట్రో రైలులో ఫోల్డబుల్ సైకిళ్లను అనుమతించేందుకు ఒప్పుకున్నారు. అంతేకాదు, స్కూలుకి వెళ్లే విద్యార్థులు, ఇంటికి దగ్గర్లోని కంపెనీల్లో పనిచేసే ఉద్యోగులు సైకిళ్లను ఉపయోగించాలని సూచిస్తున్నారాయన. ఇలా కేవలం సైక్లింగ్ విషయంలోనే కాకుండా పర్యావరణ పరిరక్షణ కోసం మరెన్నో కార్యక్రమాలతో స్వచ్ఛందంగా ముందుకొస్తున్న శాంతన సెల్వన్ ఎందరికో ఆదర్శం.
So in terms of more cycling activities and promotion of cycling in Hyderabad, we actually did a lot of projects, starting with the Hyderabad Cycling Revolution. This is something we as a core team, Ravi Sambari, Anjani and myself, we actually sat together and then created this Hyderabad Cycling Revolution. We wanted to make an impact and we wanted to convey to the government and our requests. We were asking for the government to come up with the well-connected pedestrian pathway, and also secondly comprehensive bicycle lanes network across the city. When we say comprehensive bicycle lanes across the city, that means we should be able to go from Gachibowli to Banjara Hills by bicycle lane without any safety problems. That's the second one. Third one is about the enforcement. So we had a life loss by last New Year. We lost Nitin Agarwal, who was our fellow cyclist. He lost his life due to somebody drunk and drive actually hit our cyclist. So he lost the life and family is left behind. So that is when this was a major trigger for our Hyderabad Cycling Revolution, where enforcement is the third item we proposed to the government. So these are the things we proposed to the government, actually well recognized on this initiative, and they kind of recognized our efforts, and then they have noted down and they have not yet acted on it, but they have noted down that this particular initiative is actually coming along. We have identified one more project. As per our dream, right, we have our kids to be cycling on the road to the schools without any safety problems, without any parent supervision. In order to accomplish that, we came up with a project called Hyderabad School Zoning Project. What that means is that we wanted to make the school area safer. So we identified school clusters in all the parts of the city. So we have our community members spread across the city. So what this leader, whoever is appointed, this person will actually go to his neighborhood area and then identify the school cluster, and every school cluster will have two traffic signals, couple of footpaths, and there is a main road. So we identify that and then capture photos and videos around that area, and then make sure it actually has all the safety provisions. For example, there has to be a board for school zoning, there has to be a board for speed limit, there has to be a camera, there has to be a footpath, there has to be a foot pedestrian crossing, there has to be properly working traffic signal, there has to be a traffic cop. So all these things we are actually trying to make sure, and we are actually taking it forward and working with the GHMC and also with the traffic police, and also with the school authorities we are trying to approach, and we are trying to reach out to the schools and then talk about the school zoning project, appreciating the kids also to use cycle. So that is something we are doing, and if you are a school child or you are a parent, you are watching this video, approach us, and then we can actually provide the sufficient safety in your area. We have a dream to see all of our kids and grandkids in Hyderabad to cycle to their schools. That's the primary dream we have, and in order to do that, we have a mission. We have a mission called Reset Hyderabad with Cycling 50-30, and 50-30, what that means is that by the year 2030, we want all of the residents of Hyderabad to use bicycle for 50% of the transportation needs. So when I say 50% of the transportation needs, that means about less than 5 kilometers from their radius from their home. So it is possible actually. You might think is it possible or not, but it is actually possible, because we are talking about going to grocery, going to get milk, going to get flowers or meat or any vegetables if you want to buy. It's all surroundings only if you think about it. Even the schools also is actually nearby in 5 kilometers. It's all possible by bicycle. When there is a need to use transportation, when there is a need to go out, we have to make a choice. At least 50% we can actually make a choice. If it's less than 1 kilometer, we can actually choose to walk. If it is less than 5 kilometers, you can choose to cycle. If it is more than 5 kilometers, you actually can choose public transportation. So these are the measures we can actually do, and this we call as active mobility. So we are not just promoting cycling, we are actually promoting active mobility, which includes walking, cycling and public transportation. This is the key. We wanted to make the change, and there are various behavior changes which actually is needed. What if tomorrow government actually lays the bicycle lanes across the city? Are we ready? As a community, are we ready? We should use the bicycle lanes, right, when the government actually lays it. Is the community ready? That's the big question. Is it ready or not is something we have to see. So in order to make that ready, we need to have all of us onboarded into active mobility so that we are ready in terms of walking, cycling and stuff like that. So the cycle has to be placed outside our home. It has to be usable. It cannot be some expensive cycle where we can go with that to buy a milk, right? It has to be a normal cycle, and it has to be similar to our chapel, which is actually put outside our entrance. So that is the big change we can actually do, and that something not just me can do, not just my team, or not just a small group of people can do. It is something all of us, whoever is listening to this, all of the audience, and you have to inspire all others in order to make this happen. So that is when we will actually make our Hyderabad as the cycling capital in India and also in the world, and mark Hyderabad in the cycling map of the world. And we want to make Hyderabad as the Copenhagen of the East, and it needs your cooperation. Thank you.